It's the question on everyone's mind, from the boardroom to the break room. You see it in headlines, you hear it in podcasts. Will AI take your job? The headlines are certainly designed to grab your attention. Consider this stark prediction from Dr. Roman Yampolsky, a leading AI safety expert. 99% of jobs will be gone by 2030. That's not a line from a dystopian sci-fi movie, but a serious forecast from someone deep in the field. It's a statement so extreme it's hard to even process. And he's not alone. Mo Gaudat, the former chief business officer at Google's innovation lab, Google X, paints an equally grim picture. He warns that most jobs could vanish within 2 decades, and that we're heading into a turbulent 15-year hell of social and economic disruption before AI stabilizes society. These are insiders from the very heart of the tech world. When you hear predictions like that, it's easy to feel a sense of panic. So, what are we to believe? Is this truly the beginning of the end for your career, or just another tech panic? To find the answer, we need to separate the headlines from reality. In this video, we're cutting through the noise. We'll dig into the data, unpack the drama, and get to the core of whether your job is genuinely on the chopping block. We'll explore what the experts are saying, beyond the scary sound bites. We'll examine the actual job market data from the last 3 years to see what's changed and what hasn't. We'll also look at how professionals in fields like yours are already using AI not as a replacement, but as a tool. By the end, you'll have a much clearer idea of whether you should be worried, cautiously optimistic, or maybe just a little bit curious about what comes next. Dr. Yampolsky told the Diary of a CEO podcast that 99% of jobs could disappear by 2030, replaced by AI and autonomous systems. He warned that retraining won't help, because there won't be any jobs left to retrain into. Mo Gaudat, in the same podcast series, predicted that most jobs could vanish within the next 20 years, and that we're heading into a 15-year hell before AI stabilizes society. These are serious claims. But let's compare them to what's actually happened since AI tools like ChatGPT, Midjourney, and Copilot entered the mainstream in late 2022. Let's move beyond the predictions and look at the hard data. The numbers are staggering. Since just 2022, estimates suggest that over 2 million US jobs have been directly impacted by AI-driven automation. This isn't a distant future scenario, it's happening right now, reshaping entire sectors of our economy. So where is this impact being felt the most? The data points to a few key areas. First, the tech industry itself. Ironically, the creators of this revolution are also feeling its effects. Giants like Oracle, Dropbox, and IBM have cut thousands of roles, explicitly citing AI-driven restructuring to become leaner and more efficient. Next, the media landscape. Companies like BuzzFeed, Vice, and Bloomberg downsized editorial teams as sophisticated AI tools took over routine writing, from simple news reports to summarizing financial data. And then there's customer service. Call centers saw a significant 12% drop in employment as advanced chatbots scaled to handle customer queries 24/7. Now, if the story ended there, it would be pretty bleak. But it doesn't. This is where the narrative takes a fascinating turn. AI isn't just a job destroyer, it's also a job engine. Consider this. Job postings for roles directly related to AI grew by a massive 41% year over year. The demand for people who can build and manage AI is exploding. On a global scale, the World Economic Forum projects that AI will create 97 million new roles by 2025. That's not a typo, 97 million. And these aren't just old jobs with new titles. We're seeing the birth of entirely new professions. Roles like AI ethicists, who ensure algorithms are fair, or prompt engineers, who specialize in communicating with AI, simply didn't exist a few years ago. So what does all this data tell us? It paints a complex picture. Yes, jobs are being displaced, the nature of work is fundamentally changing, but are they disappearing entirely? The evidence says no. It's a transformation, not an apocalypse. The real question isn't jobs will exist, but they will look like. Still with me? Good, because now we move from the data to the human experience. This is where it gets really interesting. Beyond the hype and the headlines, what does AI look like in the day-to-day grind? Let's pull back the curtain and talk about how professionals are using these powerful new tools. Take a marketing strategist. They might turn to AI to break through a creative block, generating 100 campaign ideas in seconds. Then they'll use it to generate draft copy for social media or emails. But the initial output is often a word salad of buzzwords. The first draft? It's robotic, completely lacking a human touch. The second attempt might be grammatically correct, but it's still off-brand. missing the specific voice the company has spent years building. It's only after significant human intervention, prompting, refining, and heavy editing, that the copy becomes usable. The AI provides the raw clay, but the strategist is the one who has to sculpt it. It's the same story in more analytical fields. A financial analyst can feed an AI mountains of raw data. The tool is brilliant at number crunching and summarizing lengthy reports, but the AI has zero understanding of the real-world business context behind those numbers. It doesn't know about a new competitor or the specific long-term goals of a client. That's where the human analyst is indispensable. They provide the crucial context and strategic insight to know what matters and what's just noise. Think of it this way. It's like handing a toddler a powerful calculator and asking for a 5-year budget forecast. You'll get some numbers back, but you, the adult in the room, are still doing all the critical thinking. This gap between processing and understanding is crucial. An AI can summarize a business report because it's a task based on structure, but ask it to perform a task that requires genuine human emotion, like writing a heartfelt wedding toast for your best friend. What you'll get back is a generic, formulaic speech that sounds more like a LinkedIn recommendation than a celebration of love. It lacks the soul, the very thing that makes us human. So what does the job market actually look like? Unemployment in major economies remains low. Yes, youth unemployment is higher, but that's driven more by economic shifts than AI alone. Meanwhile, industries like healthcare, logistics, and skilled trades are still hiring aggressively. AI hasn't solved those shortages. We've seen this pattern before. When ATMs launched, people said bank tellers were done, but the role evolved. When digital cameras arrived, photographers didn't vanish, they adapted. When Google launched, researchers didn't disappear, they just stopped using encyclopedias. AI is following the same trajectory. It's not replacing people, it's changing how we work. Sometimes it's helpful, sometimes it's just annoying. Here's the thing, AI's been around for a few years now. And while it's impressive, it's also kind of predictable. It writes in a way you can spot from a mile away. It needs constant hand-holding. And it still struggles with basic logic sometimes. It's starting to feel less like a revolution and more like a really smart calculator. Useful? Absolutely. Game-changing? Sometimes. But world-ending? Not today. We might just be watching the AI hype bubble settle into something more normal, like when Google became part of everyday life. So, will AI take your job? Maybe parts of it. But not all of it, and not if you learn to work with it. If you're navigating AI in your own job, drop a comment. Let's talk about what's working, and what's just hype. And if you found this helpful, hit subscribe. Don't fear the bot, just teach it who's boss.